Okay, for number 14, for I believe questions 12, 13, and 14, maybe even number 11, so 11 through 14, we're giving you the graphs that you would have drawn after you solved a problem. So if I just look at these graphs, it says that we solved a problem, and one of these, I'll take the top one. The top one says that x is less than 3. Uh, the bottom one says that x is less than or equal to 1. So it was a compound inequality, and then we have to pay attention to whether it's or and. So number 14, right next to it, says that it's an or problem. The definition of an OR problem means that the solution set has to meet one of the criteria. So it has to be less than or equal to 1, or it has to be less than 3. So the numbers that work would include 2, 2.5, up to 3. 1 also works. Any of these numbers over here work because all of those numbers are either less than 3 or they are less than or equal to 1. The graph by itself is confusing, so we want to try to simplify it. So we're going to simplify that. I included my own graph to show that the best solution here is just to say that x is less than 3. And so on a worksheet answer key, usually you'll just see that graph, and on your test, we would expect you to write just x is less than 3. Some teachers want you to put that separate arrow as far as your answer goes. Some teachers will just have you draw a box around that solution set. So that shows that you know you're talking about the larger of the two arrows because it is the definition of OR. The definition of OR states that it has to meet either of the criteria. So this first section between 1 and 3 works, and the section over here works. The section over here, all the way to the right, 3, 4, 5, those sections don't work. So x is less than 3. If you said the red section, x less than or equal to 1, you're missing some solutions. This would be the difference between or and. If this were an and problem, do a little sidebar. If it were an and problem, the definition of and means that you are doing both, that it has to be a solution of both areas. So just to show that real quick, that would be this space. I'm kind of going over in green, up to just the 1, which is x less than or equal to 1. That is the only set of numbers on the graph from 1 to the left where it meets both of the criteria. All those numbers are less than or equal to 1, and they are less than 3. These numbers over here, between 1 and 3, they don't meet both criteria, so that wouldn't be the solution for the and. So the one I drew in purple goes with the blue. That's your definition, or that's your answer if it were an or statement. And the one that I wrote in green, which matches the red graph, is your answer if it were an and statement.